Right now on a special edition of To The Point, celebrating Native American communities. Over the next 30 minutes, we're digging into the history of Native Americans across Northern California, how the past is being remembered and honored in a new way.
Because of the works of him, my people have their culture to carry on.
We look at the history of tribes in our state parks, how they're re-examining the past and taking back their land.
All up and down the coast, there was villages, but when the settlers came, it kind of forced everyone out to reservations.
One group empowering Native youth to become future leaders. And we're hearing your stories, what it's like to be Native American in Northern California. Good evening. This is a special edition of To The Point, and I'm Alex Bell. Tonight, we are highlighting our diverse communities and taking a closer look at Native American history. So over the course of the show, we will recognize the achievements and contributions of Native Americans in Northern California. And part of Native American history includes honoring those who came before us. Just last month, a Native American monument depicting Miwok leader William Franklin was unveiled in downtown. And tonight, our Candace Red looks at Franklin's contributions and why this is part of a wider effort to honor the true history of Native Americans.
For the first time, a monument honoring California Native Americans stands in Capitol Park in Sacramento.
It's significant for us because representation matters.
A ceremony was held for the bronze sculpture of William Bill Franklin.
Because of the works of him, my people have their culture to carry on.
Bill Franklin represents the best to be found among California Native Americans.
Jesus Tarango is with Wilton Rancheria. It's the only federally recognized tribe in Sacramento County. He says Franklin dedicated his life to reviving traditional Miwok and Nisinan songs and dances.
He was my captain of our dance group, and so as a child, he was our leader.
Franklin fought to restore indigenous people's rights to human remains and cultural items.
I know my grandfather would be very proud and to represent Native Americans for California, but I think he'd be more proud the fact that Native Americans are being recognized now.
But we're here because of the resiliency of our elders.
Assemblymember James Ramos is the only California Native American serving in the state's legislature. He helped pass legislation to create this monument.
Now school-age children and even adults visiting the Capitol will be able to see a California Indian person and start to ask the question, what's the true history?
The monument replaces the statue of Junipero Serra.
We're bringing to light the true injustice that has happened against California people.
Serra was a Spanish Franciscan priest and missionary. He came to the New World in 1749 to force Native people to convert to Christianity. Historians say the mission period overseen by Serra involved the enslavement and genocide of indigenous people.
A lot of people from Indian reservations, when we went to schools, we were forced to make and build missions to learn about the missions and the Spanish exploration. But we're never able to tell the true story from the Indian perspective of that history and the treatment towards California's first people, which was horrid.
Peter Burnett was elected California's first governor in 1849. He fueled the enslavement and genocide of indigenous people.
The first governor in the state of California put out bounties on Indian people, paid for with taxpayers' dollars, militias in the state of California that then was reimbursed by the federal government to form militias with the sole purpose of ridding and going out and killing Indian people here in the state of California.
John Sutter enslaved indigenous people, forcing them to build Sutter's Fort in 1840.
It's that history that needs to be taught so that other people could understand why Native people feel the way we feel.
California formally apologized to Native Americans in 2019.
I'm sorry on behalf of the state of California.
When you talk about injustices, the Native American people have always been at the forefront of that injustice.
In 2020, several statues in Sacramento were removed, like John Sutter, Junipero Serra, and the Christopher Columbus and Queen Isabella statues.
Find out about those people and then find out what are they being replaced with and what's the significance behind that.
Sacramento City Unified School District renamed Sutter Middle School to Miwok Middle School earlier this year. Peter Burnett Elementary is now Suyu Elementary. Suyu is the Miwok name for a hawk.
When you have the school name changes, it at least gives me hope that people are wanting to have that conversation about what really took place then.
It's about coming full circle and acknowledging a horrid past so that true healing can take place here in the state of California.
Across the greater Sacramento area, organizations are keeping Native cultures and traditions alive. Native Sister Circle is a youth organization that's helping young Native women embrace their identity, build community, and become future leaders. Race and culture producer Katie Kim shows us how.
I once was a young girl who kind of lost her way. And I feel like we all get at that age where we are in that place. My name is Angelina Hinojosa. My tribe is Pomo Nation. And I've been with Native Sister Circle since 2018. A lot of the girls here are like sisters to me. Native Sister Circle helped my mental health a lot through the bonds that we created. One thing we talk about is culture is prevention. And you're gonna start doing the same thing, but now you're going. Today we did a lot of basket making that basket and learning the importance of why we weave it this way and why your good energy needs to be. That's therapy for people. I know what it feels like to be in the deepest, darkest hole you could be in. And when I see other girls going through that, I wanna help. And so a lot of my inspiration not only comes from looking up to my mom, but of course also from what I've been through personally.
What makes basket weaving so hard?
Having a teenage daughter, I went through the struggle of wanting a safe space for her, somewhere where she can practice her culture and thrive within a group setting. That's when I found that there was a need for something specifically for young girls that was empowering, culturally empowering, and foundational to identity. So Native Sister Circle is a small grassroots organization, but that doesn't mean that we don't make a difference on bigger levels. Our foundation is our talking circles, and that's where a lot of our leadership takes place. It's a safe space, a confidential space so we can build trust. We also host conferences and where we open our workshops, our programming to communities. We also do advocacy. Our youth, they get to speak on a lot of things that they're passionate about. Our youth are leading the way now, and they're offering mentorship to the younger girls and the new girls that are coming into the group.
I'm the youngest of the group. My immediate connection with Native Sister Circle was really like how funny they were. I feel like it kind of clicked because first of all, we're all young, and second of all, we're all Native. So when you like meet a group and they're all the same age, that's one thing, but they're not gonna have that same issue about being Native American as the same as you.
Being Native American, we have so many young-minded people that are brilliant. We're smart, we're resilient. A lot of us have a lot of good gifts that, could be to use. I'm proud to advocate towards that.
All right, coming up onto the point, meet the tribe behind the Sky River Casino in Elk Grove and see the impact it's having on the community 1 year later. And still ahead, we take you to the Ajamawi Lava Spring State Park, how the tribe is working to educate people about their ancient fish traps. But first, before we go to break, we want you to meet Angelina again. You just saw her in our previous story. She shares traditions that she grew up with in her tribe, as well as what it means to be Native.
Hello, friends and relatives. My name is Angelina Hinojosa. My tribe is Pomo Nation. I am 18 years old. I'm a first-generation college student at Sac State. Traditionally and culturally, as Pomo people, we're really known for our baskets. And that's something that's always been really beautiful to me. Back then, we used to sell them just to make a living. We still carry a lot of our stitches and just like teachings passed down. This goes actually for all tribes throughout California. We have an annual event every year called a Big Time. And it's a gathering where our people all come together each year, and we invite everybody, tribal and non-tribal. And we share food, we share songs from where we're from, and we have other people come share their dances. It wasn't that long ago that our people weren't even allowed to practice our traditions. We had to go into hiding. They were putting our kids within boarding schools. At one point, they didn't want us here. And for me to be here today is a blessing within itself. It's the fact that I get to be my ancestors' prayers.
Welcome back. Tonight, we are highlighting our diverse communities by taking a closer look at Native American history. It has been 1 year since the Sky River Casino in Elk Grove opened, and Mark S. Allen is sharing more about the tribe behind it and the impact it's had in our community.
Construction began 2 years ago on Elk Grove Sky River Casino, surprising everyone by opening 2 weeks early, August 15th. It's the legacy of the Wilton Rancheria tribe, indigenous to Elk Grove and a federally recognized tribe. Currently with 700 members, 62% of the tribe is living in Sacramento County. And it's a young tribe. 40% of the members are under 18 years old. 60% of the tribal youth are in the Elk Grove Unified School District. I spent time with their equally young chairman, Jesus Tarango.
Chairman, congratulations on this.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful day. You know, I think that this casino has been everything that we've expected and then some. But truly celebrating today for those that aren't here with us as well.
Let's talk about the tribe and how unique this is and how truly indigenous this tribe is to the ground we're on right now.
Absolutely. You know, the Sacramento region is home to many tribes here. You know, Wilton Rancheria is the only federally recognized tribe in Sacramento County. And so being the stewards of that land, we share that responsibility with our brothers and sisters here in this region. And we definitely take that to heart. You know, again, protecting your land and ensuring if there's anything that you could do to protect the rivers or to protect a village site or any of those things, it's truly the responsibility and obligation of those people. So again, you know, having this here, you know, it's truly our obligation to protect it and make sure that all people in our community are taken care of.
Next, we take you to 3 of California's state parks where they're highlighting Native history and how tribes once lived. Welcome back to a special edition of To the Point. Tonight, we are celebrating the Native American community and telling their stories. Right now, John Bartel takes us to the land of the Ajumawi and the only state park in California that requires a boat ride to visit.
Of the more than 280 state parks in California, just one of those parks require a boat to get to. That park is Ajumawi Lava Spring State Park. Many who visit choose to kayak or canoe, starting from a small boat ramp just outside the little town of MacArthur. It's here that a narrow channel surrounded by grass and tule plants eventually leads you to open water.
Now, depending on what part of the park you want to visit, you're probably going to have to paddle upwards of 2 miles.
Ajumawi Lava Spring State Park is one of the nation's largest underwater spring systems. The crystal clear water literally boils from the ground and feeds a spider web of lakes, rivers, and creeks, ultimately saturating Shasta County's Fall River Valley.
Now, when you finally do reach the park, you're going to want to be respectful because this area was and still is the ancestral home of the Ajumawi people.
We're keepers of the land from the Creator. Ajumawi we're the water people, and some people call it where the rivers come together.
Virginia Mike is a cultural liaison with the Ajumawi people, which is a band of the Pit River tribe.
I mean, look how beautiful it is right there. You can see.
Can you see the fish?
Virginia teaches younger tribe members like Antonio Mendoza about the Ajumawi culture and the importance of the water that helps isolate and protect the ancestral lands here.
The importance of the water to the Ajumawi people because it's life. Without water, there's no life.
As she walks Antonio and I along the lava rock trails, Virginia leads us to a shoreline. Here, you can still see ancient fish traps built by Ajumawi fishermen. They may look like piles of rocks, but those rocks are placed in such a way that trout and suckerfish could be pushed up or herded from deep water to shallow pools.
The opening are out there where we herd the fish in. And once we herd them into that pond there, then we close it down and they are herded further in up here into the shallower areas where they're easier to catch.
We are not sharing the location of these fish traps to prevent disturbance, but Virginia wants visitors to know what those traps look like so boaters can avoid them.
This is what we're trying to protect because people try to drag their boats up into these traps to get out. And we're trying to explain to them, like, you're destroying, our fish traps. This has been here for years.
There's a long history of non-native people disturbing Ajimawi and Pit River tribal territory. With the help of the U.S. military, early settlers in the 1860s forced Ajimawi onto reservations so their land could be farmed and logged.
We were massacred for our land. They put bounties out on our heads, $100 a head.
Why aren't you in here asking PG and E to leave? They're the ones that are trespassing on the land, not the Indians.
Hold it right up.
By the early 20th century, much of the remaining Ajimawi land was acquired by Pacific Gas and Electric Company. They built hydroelectric dams, which ultimately blocked salmon from spawning up to Ajimawi water. In an effort to right a wrong, the government agreed to pay reparations to the Ajimawi and Pit River tribes, who had land taken from them.
The money is compensation for land taken from the Indians' ancestors in 1853. Pearl and the other members of the Pit River tribe intend to refuse the checks.
This 1970s documentary shows the conflicts that arose after the tribe learned they would only be paid 47 cents an acre for their land. The pitifully low price was based off the going rate for property back in the 1850s.
I couldn't even buy bread with that 47 cents an acre. That's what I see right now.
In 1975, California State Parks acquired 6,000 acres of private land and former Ajimawi territory and then turned it into the current-day park.
It's a bad type of a genocide that happened to our people. I can't change it. The only thing I can do is move forward to try to make things better, because I have my grandkids that I bring out here.
Virginia hopes that one day the ancestral land will be returned to her people. But for now, she uses the park to teach the tribe's culture to younger generations.
It's a great honor and great privilege to be out here for me, to learn and gain this knowledge, and learn about my ancestors and what life was all about.
If you visit the park, you will find campsites and barbecues, but you'll also see the remnants of a sacred land, once inhabited by the water people, the Ajimawi tribe.
It's a traditional place, for my people. It's our culture, We're not cattle herders, we're fish herders.
From Ajimawi Lava Spring State Park, I'm John Bartel. Hope to see you on the backroads.
Heading to Humboldt County, you can see how the Yurok tribe once lived. Sumig State Park is a replica of a village built by the Yurok people. Visitors are invited to go inside the redwood homes and learn about the culture. The park was formerly called Patrick's Point, named after a settler who inflicted violence on the Yurok people in the late 1800s. The purpose of the Sumig State Park is to encourage visitors to re-examine the past and reflect on the suppressed cultures of indigenous people. And along the Humboldt coast is California's first tribally operated visitor center within the California State Park system. Stone Lagoon State Park is located along Highway 101, and it was once a Yurok village. The land was taken from the Yurok tribe by early settlers and later turned into a vacation destination. In the summer of 2020, state parks gave the Yurok full control over a visitor center and power to hire park staff.
The hope for the tribe is that we're here and we'll hopefully pass this knowledge down to future generations and can continue to grow.
Today, Yurok tribal members control the narrative and share their history with tourists in a new visitor center and on guided kayak tours across the lagoon. Coming up, we'll introduce you to a woman preserving and sharing her culture while inspiring future generations. As we continue to highlight Native American history and culture, we want to introduce you to Alexandria Russell. She is an elder in Sacramento's Native American community who is preserving and sharing her culture while also inspiring future generations.
My name is Alexandria Russell, and I'm White Mountain Apache. Being a Native American elder here in Sacramento, I take pride and honor with it because it comes to responsibility as an auntie and elder to continue to share our culture, tradition, and wellness. My husband and I, Larry Russell, for over 30 years, we have been in the classroom with the Indian education and local agencies to promote and share our gift and medicine, which we call Southwest Pottery. Since we're taking the clay from the river, we have to give back. So we also teach our youth and families that when you're working with the clay and you're thinking about presenting it as a gift, you want to have that good energy. As an elder, sometimes people think this is time for retirement, but this is the time for me. We all have a role in the community, from children, youth, adulthood, and elders. And I look forward to the day I just sit down and see our youth leaders continuing maybe something that I may have started.
And if you want to hear how others are preserving their own Native cultures and traditions, just head over to our website, abc10.com/race and culture. As always, we deeply appreciate you joining us, and we want to hear what's going on in your community. So make sure you reach out to me and the team. Have a great night. I'll see you next time. Hey, it's Alex. Just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I really love hearing from everyone, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. Reach out to me on Facebook at AlexBellTV, or you can email me at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send me a text message at 916-321-3310.